The van has no windows. You're shackled at the wrists and ankles, the metal cutting into your skin with every bump in the road. You don't know where you're going, but you know what's waiting. The judge's words still echo in your head. 15 years. This is the story of your life at every level of prison. From the moment you arrive as nobody to becoming someone everyone knows. This is your journey through a world with its own rules, its own hierarchy, and its own brutal form of justice. The new fish. The van doors open, and harsh fluorescent light floods in.
Step out of the vehicle
Guards
right
yell
now.
commands
Keep
you
your hands where
barely
I can see
process.
'em.
Move. Stop. Strip. You hand over everything, your watch, your wallet, even the photo of your daughter you'd kept in your pocket. The guard doesn't even look at it before tossing it into a plastic bag with a number on it. Not your name. A number. That's who you are now. They give you a uniform that doesn't fit. Too tight in the shoulders, too loose at the waist. The bedroll they shove into your arms smells like sweat and something worse you can't identify. Then you walk. The hallway is long, impossibly long. On both sides, faces watch you through cell bars. Eyes calculating, measuring, evaluating. Not with hatred, that would almost be easier to understand. No, this is cold assessment. They're deciding what you are, what you're worth, whether you're prey. You've been on the outside your whole life. Out there, you were somebody. You had a name, a job, a history, family, friends. People knew you. In here, you're a blank page and everyone else has a pen. The clock starts now. You have somewhere between 24 hours and 2 weeks to figure out who you're going to become. Because if you don't decide, someone else will decide for you. The first night, you don't sleep. You lie there listening to sounds you've never heard before. Metal clanging, distant shouting, someone crying 3 cells down. In the morning, in the chow hall, you sit alone. That's when he approaches. Older guy, tattooed neck, calm eyes. He sits across from you without asking. Where you from? 3 words. The most important question anyone will ask you in here. Because this place is divided. DB Block belongs to the Black Gorilla family. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, the Aryan Brotherhood controls the yard. The Serenos decide who works the kitchen. The Mexican Mafia has arrangements with certain guards. Arrangements that keep things running smooth. To be neutral is to be vulnerable. To be alone is to be a target. Your answer to this question determines everything. Who protects you, who you owe, who you become. You answer, and your fate is sealed. The prospect, they're watching you now. Not as prey anymore, as a potential asset. You're a prospect. You're not in yet, but you're being considered. The test starts small. Carry this package from one cell to another. Don't ask what's inside. Deliver a message to someone in C block. Word for word, exactly as you're told. Stand at the end of the hallway during rec time and watch. Just watch. If you see something specific, you'll know. If you have to ask, you've already failed. You learn a new language. Not Spanish or slang, though you pick those up too. No, you learn the language of eyes and posture, of who stands where, of which guard looks away and which one doesn't. You learn that when the noise level drops suddenly, something's about to happen. You learn that when someone asks you a question, sometimes the right answer is silence. Every task is a test. Every test you pass earns a small amount of trust. Not respect yet. Not belonging. Just trust. The kind that keeps you alive. You don't ask why. You don't ask questions at all. You just do what you're told and learn to see what isn't said. The soldier. The initiation isn't ceremonial. It's painful and fast. And when it's over, you're in. You're a soldier now. That means you follow orders. You move product when told. You collect fees from people who owe. Sometimes you deliver messages. Sometimes you deliver consequences. You don't negotiate. You don't question. You execute. The work is dangerous. You take the risks while the profits flow upward to people you rarely see. But in exchange, you get something invaluable. You're not alone anymore. When you walk the yard now, people move aside. Not because they fear you specifically, but because they respect what you represent. You're protected. You belong to something bigger than yourself. And in a place designed to strip away your humanity, that belonging, however violent, however twisted, feels like oxygen. The enforcer. You've proven yourself reliable. More importantly, you've proven yourself controlled. Anyone can throw a punch. But you know exactly when to throw it, how hard, and critically, when to stop. Violence in prison is everywhere, but effective violence is rare. You've become an enforcer. Your job is to maintain order. Someone owes money and won't pay? You visit them. Someone's talking to the guards a little too freely? You have a conversation. A dispute breaks out that threatens to explode into something bigger? You handle it before it does. You've learned to separate yourself from the act. When you hurt someone, you don't feel anything. Not pleasure, not guilt. It's mechanical, necessary. Just another task on a list. The other inmates see this in you. That cold efficiency. It makes them nervous, which is exactly the point. You collect debts. You ensure silence. You solve problems. And you do it all while barely leaving a mark the guards will notice. The shot caller. 4 years in now. Your daughter is 7. You've seen her twice in the visiting room, and she barely recognizes you. But in here, everyone recognizes you. Because you've been promoted shot caller. You manage a section of the prison now. You oversee soldiers and enforcers. People come to you with problems. Disputes over money, over disrespect, over someone's girl on the outside. You mediate. You decide. Your word is final. But it's not just internal management. You negotiate with other organizations. When tensions rise between your people and another crew, you sit down with their shot caller and work it out before blood is spilled. Because blood draws attention, and attention is bad for business. And make no mistake, this is a business. The drug trade in here is vast. Pills, powder, paper, it flows through the prison like water, and everyone from the lowest soldier to the administration knows it. Some guards are paid to look away. Some are paid to help. You control information now. Who's snitching? Which guards are bought? When shakedowns are coming. Information is power, but it's also risk. Know too much and you become valuable. Become too valuable and you become a target. The connect. 7 years inside. Your daughter is 10 now. She started asking why you can't come home. Your ex won't let her visit anymore. But you can't think about that. Because you've become something rare. A connect. You've built relationships across racial and organizational lines. The Aryans trust you. The BGF trusts you. The Serenos trust you. Not out of friendship, out of mutual interest. You facilitate deals. You arrange shipments. You coordinate operations not just in your prison, but across the state system. You set up meetings between leaders who hate each other but need to do business. You manage money transfers through channels the feds haven't figured out yet. You control logistics that span multiple facilities and connect to operations on the outside. You've become a bridge. And bridges, while essential, are exposed from both sides. The underboss. The old boss got transferred after a raid. 2 shot callers went down in an internal dispute. The vacuum needed to be filled, and you were the obvious choice. Underboss. You run the organization inside this facility, but you answer to leadership on the outside, people running operations across multiple prisons and the streets. Communication is an art form now. Coded letters that look mundane. Phone calls where every word has double meaning. Messages passed through lawyers who have no idea what they're carrying. You're managing a criminal enterprise from inside a cell. You're making decisions that affect people you'll never meet, in places you haven't seen in 8 years. The weight of it is enormous. But the alternative, being nobody again, is unthinkable. The boss. There's no ceremony when you become the boss. No announcement. One day you realize that when you speak, everyone listens. When you decide something, it happens. The respect is absolute. You control dozens of men directly, hundreds indirectly. You have relationships with guards, with administrators, with people outside who move money and product. You don't just manage your organization, you help maintain order in the entire facility. When problems arise that could spiral into riots or lockdowns, you're consulted. You fix it before it becomes the administration's problem. You've become a judge. People who aren't even in your organization come to you with disputes, because they know your decision will stick. There's no appeal, no higher court. Sometimes, late at night, you wonder what you could have built with these skills in another life. But you don't dwell on it. Regret is unproductive. Your daughter is 16 now. She came to visit last month. First time in 3 years. She barely spoke. Just stared at you like you were a stranger. You are a stranger. To her. To yourself. But in here, you're not a stranger. The legend. 11 years inside. You're not just known in your facility anymore. Your name echoes across the state system. Young inmates who've never met you know who you are. You're a legend. But legendary status comes with legendary problems. Prosecutors want your name on indictments to make their careers. Ambitious rivals want to take you down to build their own reputations. Other organizations want you gone because you're too powerful, too connected, too dangerous. You carry the weight of everything you've done. The violence you've ordered. The lives you've ruined. The person you used to be is so buried you can barely remember him. You've educated yourself. Philosophy, law, economics, history. You've filed legal motions on your own behalf. One is pending, a real shot at early release. But you're not sure what freedom would even mean anymore. You've become something that can only exist in here. The ghost. 14 months ago, they released you, handed you a bus ticket and the clothes you wore in, sent you into a world that moved on without you. Everything is alien. The phones everyone carries are like nothing you remember. Prices don't make sense. Social interactions feel like navigating a minefield. People make small talk about shows and apps and events you know nothing about. You report to your parole officer every 2 weeks. The restrictions are endless. The background checks are constant. You can't get an apartment. Job applications go nowhere once they see your record. Your phone rings sometimes. Numbers you recognize from the old network. Opportunities. Money. Easy money. You don't answer. Your daughter is 20 now. She's in college. You met for coffee once. It was awkward and painful. And you could see in her eyes that she doesn't know who you are. How could she? You don't know either. You work construction. The pay is terrible and the work destroys your body. But it's clean. It's real. It's exhausting in a different way than the inside was exhausting. Sometimes you see them, young men in shackles being transferred. New fish. Starting their own journey through the levels. The cycle continues. Grinding up lives and spitting out ghosts. You wonder what it cost them. What it cost you. You wonder if you'll ever stop being a ghost and become a person again. This is the reality of the prison system. Not just cells and bars, but a complete society with its own ruthless hierarchy. From new fish to legend to ghost, each level demands something from you. Your identity, your morality, your humanity. And even when you make it out, the prison never really lets you go. If this opened your eyes to a reality most people never see, leave a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the systems that shape our world. Because understanding the levels is the first step to breaking the cycle.